It's the Pink Pill again, back with another video, and thank you for joining me. I want to talk to you guys today about a discussion that we had in the Pink Pill Underground. Normally, all of that is top secret, but one of our very own mental health professionals said something that was so profound, I simply had to share it. She said in her presentation at one point that we don't necessarily seek happiness in relationships. We seek familiarity. My mind went. She also said that we look for people who are damaged like us, and when we don't, we reject them. And why do we reject them? Because they're too healthy. It's not anything we know how to deal with. It is unfamiliar. So when we talk about why women like us don't date nice guys, why are we going after a certain type of guy over and over and over again, it really brought home that we're all looking not for happiness, even though we say consciously, and that may be the truth. We're looking for familiarity. We're looking for what feels like home. Now, when it comes to interracial relationships or just dating within your race, that can happen, right? You meet a normal, healthy black guy, he's boring. You meet a normal, healthy white guy, he's boring. On and on, on and on. But I want to go a little bit deeper with that. The idea of what's familiar. The idea of the devil that you know. Because when I talk about interracial relationships, you guys know I wrote a book in 2012 called Swirling. People seem to have so many warnings and admonitions and lots of danger signs and beware signs when it comes to Black women dating or marrying interracially. Those same warning signs and danger signs don't seem to be there for the men who do it twice as much, but that's a whole other video.
Thank you.
But what I don't hear is those same warnings about vetting when it comes to men within their own race. So what happens is that Black girls and women have been taught very on to be very wary and suspicious of non-Black people in general, and specifically non-Black men in relationships, and even more specifically, white men. They give you a whole host of reasons, and these reasons have been well digested by Black women because I hear them all the time. But the fact of the matter is that the same warnings that Black girls and women are given when it comes to dating interracially, they're not given for Black men within their own communities. But if you...
I want y'all to put the clapping emojis in the comment section, because what she just said, she told no lie. And let me tell y'all a secret. I used to watch her all the time when I was watching Cynthia G. When I was watching Cynthia G, I found her. I was secretly watching her. And do y'all remember when they tried to get her kicked off of YouTube? Just like they got Cynthia G kicked off of YouTube. But I have heard that Cynthia G, I have heard that she is on other apps. She on apps off here. That's off here. And you can connect with her if you want to. I'm thinking about connecting with Cynthia G because I need to talk to her about some things. And I know what the app is because other Black sisters been letting other Black sisters know about the app that she be on. And she said she don't miss being on here. They're just like hashtag Black woman. I used to watch her. She said she is protecting her mental health. She protecting her piece. A lot of the black sisters that have left or just got kicked off, they don't regret, they don't miss being out here. I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Do a side-by-side comparison about the typical things that people say that black women should be wary of when it comes to dating interracially and specifically white men, and you put that up against what's happening in our community, it kind of makes you scratch your head. It kind of makes you wonder what's really going on here. And part of the unfamiliarity is about the idea of doing something new. We all kind of know what to expect from men within our own communities. Most of us have really no idea what to expect from men outside of the community. So it becomes very familiar. You've got the familiar versus the unfamiliar. But when we're talking about warnings that many black women get when it comes to these types of mixed relationships, again, when you stack them up side to side, you gotta wonder what's really going on here. And listen, before I give the list, I wanna say this. I absolutely agree that we black women need to do a better job of vetting everybody. I don't want you to vet black men less. I don't want you to vet white men less.
You do got white pookies out here. So that's why I say be careful, because you got white pookies out here. Now, me personally, I don't have nothing against them, but I am not attracted to white men that act like white pookies, that remind me of black pookies, that remind me of Tyrones. I'm not finna talk to a white man that is sagging and you can see his behind. You can see his boxers. He's sagging and you can see his behind. That's very unattractive to me. I'm not attracted to those type of white men. I'm not. It's black women out here that talk to them, but I'm not finna talk to a white man that where you can see his behind and he's sagging and you can see his boxers and his briefs. Absolutely not. You do have the the white pookies out here. They do exist, so be careful, because they out here. That's all I'm gonna say. They out here. They don't just be in prison. They out here and they be sagging and you can see they behind. You can see they boxers. You can see they briefs. They do sag. You do got the ones that sag. They don't keep their pants up. They have their pants down. It don't matter if they're joggers or sweatpants. They sag.
Because they're white. I don't want you to vet black men less because they're black or Hispanic or Arab or Native American, whatever, Asian. I don't want you to do that. I want you to vet everyone equally because, well, that's just being smart. But when you are told to be specifically wary of a particular group of people for specific reasons, you need to explore what those reasons are and why those people are so persistent in letting you know those things. So let's start with the list. One of the things that I hear oftentimes, many people comment on my YouTube videos and say, why are you encouraging black women to be in interracial relationships? You know those men are not going to take them seriously. And I say to myself, really? And black men take black women seriously? It kind of makes me wonder, with the highest out-of-wedlock rates, the lowest marriage rates, the highest divorce rates, the fact that many black women are engaged in multiple partner relationships without their knowledge or consent, the fact that reproductive coercion is running rampant in our community and is never discussed, you're really coming at me with saying that black women should be wary of non-black men because they'll consider them playthings? What are we now? What's going on? Next comment that I get, why are you telling these black women to get with these white boys? They're never going to marry them. Oh, that's weird because black men aren't really marrying us either. Black men marry at 43%. And of that 43%, 24% marry interracially. There's slim pickings when it comes to marriage in this community. And here's another little tidbit of trivia that I think you'll be interested in. The fact that when my book came out in 2012, interracial relationships was hovering around 9-10% for 20 years since they had started keeping track in the 80s. From 2012 to 2015, interracial marriages between black women and non-black men went from 9% to 12%. That's a 33% increase in 3 years. So from 2012 to 2015, it rose 33%. And the numbers are even higher because here we are in 2022, and I think somebody's scared to release those numbers because I already know, and if you just look outside, you'll know too that those numbers are really increasing. So what is happening is that these non-black men are marrying black women. And in a lot of cases, particularly when black women marry white men, their marriages last longer. So that's another fail when it comes to warning.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Okay.
Black women about non-black men, but let's keep going.
Girl, you better not get with them white boys. He gonna lock you in his basement and kill you.
Oh, really? Is that what they'll do? Well, thanks to the tireless work of Rosa at Black Femicide, we now know that black girls and women are being killed less than every 6 hours. And they're not being killed by white boys. They're getting killed by men and women within their own community and of their own race. The majority of the time, I mean high 90s, the majority of the time. So the people who are actually killing us are not non-black people. It's us. So I fail to understand why people in our community feel the need to warn black women about the dangers of being killed by a non-black person, but can barely muster any attention to Black Femicide. Contribute any money, by the way. If you would like to do so, I will put that link in the description box, or support or even spread the word. So if people are really concerned about the deaths of black girls and women, they should not be looking towards white men. They should be looking towards themselves, because we're the ones, people who look like us, that are killing us. And that's the truth. The next one that I get, he'll fetishize you. It's so crazy. I can't tell you how many emails, direct messages, tweets that I've gotten from women who have said, I'm terrified of dating interracially. I kind of want to, but I'm terrified of doing it because I'm so worried that he's going to consider me a fetish, and I don't want to be fetishized. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's really weird. Why is that weird? Well, let me just tell you a quick story. I just recently